Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL India Premiership Summer Season Challenger Series 2018 that is brought to you by Oman by HP, HyperX and Intel and organized by Northern Gaming and ESL. How are you, Vagish?
I'm doing great, man. Same old, same old. वही चल रहा है अब तो I like sooner or later I'll start feeling like AK Hangal from Sholay. इतना सन्नाटा क्यों है बेटा?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have, as usual, 3 games lined up. But before that, let me introduce myself. I'm your host, Harsh Shipman Rawat, and this is your very own God Slayer. So, 3 games, CR, CSGO, and Dota 2. In CR, we have Spark, that will be taking on Uranium Potato. And, well, but before we talk about the game, let's talk about the most awaited LAN finale that will be taking place. Are you looking forward to it?
Well, I should be, right?
Well, that's his thing, so duh. But anyway, LAN finale, ladies and gentlemen, on the 23rd and 24th of June at Phoenix Market City, Kurla. But I won't draw all the cards because we'll be talking about this further. Moving on, let's talk about the players that have qualified. So, Beast has qualified, Kamal Khan has qualified, Arpan Christian, and Prashant PP for the LAN finale.
I mean, Arpan was but an eventuality. I'm saddened by a couple of things, yeah. Mukul 8-bit Achal, not coming to the LAN finale. Sadly secured, like, thankfully secured a place in the Masters League, did not get relegated. Rinmoy Lakhar going to Challenger League is slightly hard to digest. Is still like, it's like, you know, it's like you coming out of the theater after watching Infinity War. Like you're shaken up. You didn't expect this. It's like the conversation which Peter Parker and Tony Stark have. Like, no, Mr. Stark, I don't feel good, Mr. Stark. I don't want to go. I don't want to die. So it's like that. So if I was Stark, Mrinboy is like going to be like Peter. You know, I don't want to see him go die. Like I don't want to see him go challenge in the Challenger League. It's like hashtag Sasta storytelling.
Well, we'll talk more about that at the end of the game. Moving on to our main game, Spark taking on Uranium Potato. What kind of a game are you looking forward to, seeing these two players facing each other?
This is going to be a radioactive game, man. This is going to be radioactive to the bone. Okay, let's keep it very honest here. These are challenger players. Not much is known about them. Think of it. Okay, you know what? I'm pretty sure a lot of people here who are watching the ESL India Premiership at the end of the day are pretty familiar with comic books and pop culture. So I will try to correlate it to something similar. DC Detective Comics, Batman Year One. Nobody knew who Batman was. Like some random guy suddenly creeping up from the darkness, instilling fear in like the criminals of Gotham, right? So when that happens, so you realize Challenger League is no different. Starter Cup is like the Shadow Alley. And the Challenger Series is like the Batman Year One. They're trying to prove themselves to be the world's best detective or the Caped Crusader, right? If I had to correlate it to the comics. So right now they are just coming out of the shadows, you know. They're trying to make a name. They're trying to instill fear in their counterparts. So if you see a lot of new names are coming up in the Masters League for the fall season. And some big names have gone into the Challenger League from the Masters season. And I'm pretty sure you must have seen it. I've maintained it throughout. I'll repeat it again for the 59th time. Masters League is a gosh darn Shark Tank. And it has piranhas and sharks both. Unless and until you are capable of fending off both of them, buddy, this is going to be like pretty much like a very weird joyride for you. And it's not going to be that easy. It's going to be painful, not physically painful, but mentally and emotionally excruciatingly painful, because then you'll see. बोलते ना कि आदमी कितने पानी में है, so वो मालूम पड़ जाएगा. Challenger में it's like, okay, ठीक है, still, like I said, Batman Year One. You will have other vigilantes also, but what makes you the best vigilante?
Well, absolutely agreed with the Godslayer over here. And moving on, ladies and gentlemen, our first team, let's have a look. Spark for you. team. What did I say? This guy is one-man army, ladies and gentlemen. Spark made its debut in ESL Starter Cup #1 and turned out to be second.
Yeah, yeah. Spark with 3 stars. I mean, like I said, not much is known about them. They will gain much more prominence than they already have once when they will enter the Masters League and we'll enter officially the fall season. That is when we'll see poundings and bashings and teeth falling left, right, center, figuratively. So yeah, that's there.
Well, that was Spark for you. Let's have a look at our second player, Uranium Potato. Uranium Potato, a very funky name. I really like that name. What do you think?
Waking up from ash and dust, I bet my pride, I bet my something. Yeah, but yeah, whatever. You get the gist.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Well, that's Uranium Potato for you. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, Spark versus Uranium Potato. Let's get set for the clash tonight.
All right, and as they said, let's get rolling. We are into game 1 of this best of 5 of Spark versus Uranium Potato. And I'm just going to call him Potato, so just bear with me because it's just a very long name. But getting into the game now, Spark, of course, picking up the Rascals, the Miner, the Bats, the Poison, also has a Zap card available. Meanwhile, Potato's got the Rascals himself. He's also picked up the Inferno Dragon, the Goblin Gang. He's got the Skies and Baron also. He's also added the Bats to his deck. Now, with the Miners on both the sides of the team, this is going to be a very crucial game for both these players. The Goblin Hut, of course, getting added over there to the deck of Spark, and he also has the Dark Prince to make sure that he can deal with all that splash damage coming in there from Potato. However, now we do see these amazing Rascals walking across the map to Potato's base, and to reply to that, he's himself dropped in his own bunch of Rascals. And it's going to be a good push, though. The Goblin Hut, in my opinion, is going to be tanking up much of those Rascal shots. Also, the Miner now going and just go and hit the Goblin Hut, not really aim for the tower, which is a good move coming in there from Spark. He's making sure that that continuous kind of chip damage can't really be done onto Spark's base. But on the other side, Potato now got to be careful. The Dark Prince has started chipping down on the tower. He's also got the Bats with him, and that's going to be a few extra shots on his tower. 1,116 HP on his tower, and he looks to be in a little bit of I wouldn't say a tough spot, but he's got to be a little careful over here. He can't really let Spark continuously keep doing that damage. Now, I did watch Spark play yesterday, and he had a very similar concept. He does like to chip as much as he can in the early stages of the game, and then one shot just aim for both the Princess Stars together. But as I see that, I mean, Potato going to do his own pushing over here. He has dropped in the skeleton barrel on the right-hand side Princess, and that's going to be a little bit of chip damage going in there on that Princess Tower. Meanwhile, he's also going to send the Miner on the left-hand side tower, but now the Inferno Dragon getting a connection on the Princess Tower, going to do a little bit of damage. While on the other end, we see Spark, who is doing his chip damage on the secondary tower of Potato. Both going to sit and collect that elixir. Now it is double elixir time, and now we see the drops coming in there. Potato going to drop down the skeleton barrel. They've also dropped down the giant. Meanwhile, we also see the defense coming around strong there with the Rascal drop coming in there from Spark. They are going to get a few shots here and then head towards this tower. Looking at both these two sides, I do have to say that I do like the way Spark has held his ground pretty strong till now. And now he is aiming directly for the Princess Tower. The poison spell is doing quite a bit of damage. And with that Dark Prince in the front row, he is going to be able to take down the tower very convincingly for himself. And going to just hold his defense ground stronger. He has everything available. He does have the Rascals, the Bats, of course, to just chip down on that Miner tower. And this is mostly going to be Spark taking game 1. And good round coming in there from him. He did keep the momentum going. I like the way he shared the damage on both the towers quite equally. Of course, Uranium Potato doing pretty much the same situation, but I think he lacked actually just one aggressive card. If he maybe had a Prince or the Dark Prince or even a Balloon, as a matter of fact, to kind of take and soak in that damage, he could have performed even better. So let's see in game 2 how these two players are going to perform? Are they going to change their decks, or are they going to stick to the similar kind of card concept and just add an extra card here or there? So as we wait for this, I also want to mention that this is the promotion relegation round, and Spark seems to be one of those players who could really make it to the Masters League. With his performances against both the players he's played previously, he seems to be very, very confident coming into this matchup. So we are going to be heading in game number 2 now. And let's see what these two players have in store for us. I'm hoping to see whether they add the Bandit, and yes they do. Spark is going to add the Bandit card with the Rascals. He has the Miner and the Inferno. Meanwhile, Potato has opted to go for a Tornado, a little bit more defense coming in from his side. He does have the Tomb available, the Log available, also the Poison to keep things going. He's also added the Hog Rider. Now that is a brilliant move coming in from him. He did lack that aggression in the previous game, and he's making sure that this time a similar mistake doesn't happen. He's also going to add the Ice Wizard to his deck, so he's going to make sure that even if a very heavy drop comes inside from Spark's set, he'll be able to handle that push and also slow him down for a little while. But I do like the way the minions have been added to Spark's deck, so he's got a lot of defense on his side too, and the Ice Golem going to be the first card getting dropped there by Uranium Potato. He has dropped the Tomb, and that means that the Giant's got to wake his way to the Tomb. He also has a Bandit card if he decides to use it, but I would say he would just give it some time and just wait on and see how this is actually going to pan out for him. He's going to get hit there by the Ice Wizard for now. Going to mostly be able to take down the Bandit with the Princess doing the damage from the back lines. And now Mr. Solo Wizard just going to walk across that bridge, get one shot off on the Princess Tower, and just going to wait now. Inferno Dragon, of course, an interesting card drop over there. With the Dark Prince fares beautifully well, and with the Rascals getting added over there, he's all set with his push. The Inferno Dragon going to quickly chip down on that Tomb, but so many tiny skeletons to deal with, and not really going to have a favorable outcome over there for Spark. But now he knows the strategy Potato's trying to follow here, and with that Hog and Ice Golem getting dropped, it's Spark's turn to defend. He's going to start off with that Miner, the Bandit, of course, to deal with that Hog Rider, but the Poison getting dropped there. Beautiful counter coming in there from Uranium Potato, the only survivor, the Bandit, and I don't think even she's going to make it to the Princess Tower. Good defense coming in there for that Zeus drop. I call him Zeus because he's just so cool. And now if you look at this whole... I mean, it's 1 minute on the clock now, and I see that Spark is the one struggling this time, and it's not Uranium Potato. He's kind of slowed down his gameplay. He's making sure that he has the combination of his cards correctly placed, and now all he's got to do is wait for the right time to really place down that Hog Rider, hold his defense strong, and when the time is right, just place that Hog and get this few chip damage off the tower. He has to, of course, manage the Bandit, which he's going to handle with the Tornado, and now we see another beautiful drop coming in there from Spark. He's going to just get that Inferno Dragon and the Dark Princess. Uranium just got to give it some time. He's going to drop down that Hog now. This could be where he takes this win, but it's 216, 186, 162, and with that Log, 150, actually just 51 HP on a beautiful tower, and now all he's got to do is hold his defense one more time, and he'll be able to manage everything out. But he has the Poison again, he has a Log again, and this is where everything goes south for Spark, and he will just have to take this loss and move on to game number 3. So it's going to be another game, and it's beautiful to see that these two players are going head to each other. Good add-on for Uranium Potato. That one aggressive card placed correctly, doing so much damage to Spark's card. I think this is the first time I've seen Spark get a little fidgety in the game. He's not really sure on how this loss really came his way. He had the defense placed correctly, but maybe he lacked a little bit in offense. So let's head into game number 3 now and see what these two players have in store for us. Spark's going to go ahead and change his deck, and so is Uranium Potato. Sparks picked up the Giant, the 3 Musketeers. He's also dropped in the Battle Ram. Now, I do feel his deck is too elixir heavy, and he'll have to be very careful about how he's going to place his drops. He's also added the Elixir Collector and the Minion Horde to his card placement, which is good one way, but I hope he gets the time to kind of place those cards down. But now we see Potato dropping his aggression over there. He's going to get beautiful shots off now on the tower. The Hog Rider taking down almost 1,000 HP off that tower, and now we see the Barbs on the other side doing a little bit more of damage on Potato's tower, but the Royal Ghost making sure that all the cleave damage just deleting those goblins off the map. And now he himself is going to head to the tower. The bats are ready to start chipping on him, but not before he gets 2 shots on that tower. And now the bats got to make their way to Pareto's base, but the princess being strong enough to deal with the bats herself, they don't really need an extra drop there. But Pareto going to refollow what he likes to do the best. The Hog Rider gets dropped there, but the Musketeers a little bit not on the right position, I think, because 2 Musketeers is going to walk away, and with that, Spark is going to lose his first tower in this game. Of course, the Musketeers being a good drop there, but with the Battle Ram drop, now it is Spark's turn to start doing the damage. It's going to connect. No, it's going to miss a connect on the tower, and the Royal Ghost just going to be able to do a little bit of chip damage. With that log, he'll be able to make sure that his tower still stays there. And now it's Spark's turn to again make that drop there. He's going to drop the Giant, still not getting time to really drop the Elixir Collector, and that could be costly, but now Spark is on a good side because the Hunter is not available and there's nothing to really deal with an aggressive push coming in there from Spark. And this is a beautiful position actually that Spark is in. He's got 1 tower, the other tower is at just 488 HP. And this is where you just talk about how patience is a key to a game. Now he did know that once he hits that 1 minute mark, he'll be able to drop these heavy cards so much more faster. And that's what actually is working in his favor. He doesn't really need to use the Elixir Collector. And as I speak of that, now Potato dropping his own set of Musketeers there with the minion horde. Spark's going to make sure that those Musketeers go nowhere apart from where they already came from. And another giant drop coming in there, a lot of aggression, and I don't think Potato really has an answer for all these pushes coming his way. He could even get a 3 crown follower here, and the giant standing strong, just gonna keep hitting that king tower. 1 more shot, and I think that would be a good game, well played, coming in there from Uranium Potato. Wow, I like the way Spark plays. He loves to just be patient in the early stages of the game. He likes to see what his opponent has, what are the counters that he's looking to really deal with. And once he's got that momentum, once that clock hits just 1 minute more, he seems to completely change his gameplay, goes from defensive to complete aggression, shows his main card actually in just the second half of the game, which kind of makes him really understand that he is a kind of defensive player, but also he needs 1 more victory to kind of move ahead in this tournament. And as we speak of that, I see he's going to go back to his first deck. It's going to be the Rascals, the Miner, the Poison, the Zap. Meanwhile, we see Uranium Potato sticking to his present deck. He's going to remove 3 Musketeers completely, but he's going to stick to what he was best at, the defense cards. Now, as long as he can hold that Princess Tower alive, he'll be able to have a good shot at this game. But with Spark's deck, I feel his deck is just too strong right now. He does have the Goblin Hut, he's got the Ice Wizard, he's got the Dark Prince, he's got the Rascals, he's got the Spear Goblins, the Poison and the Zap. Now this could be a very risky combination for Pareto to really deal with. He's got the Hog Rider, which was his MVP card the other time, and I hope to see whether he'll be able to play it at the correct interval of time to kind of get those shots off onto a Spark. But for now, we see a beautiful defense coming in there from Uranium. He's going to just make sure the Dark Prince is going nowhere. Nice inclination over there. And now he's just going to drop down the Spear Goblins and head towards the tower and make sure he gets a few shots. But now the Hog Rider comes into the story, gets distracted with that Goblin Hut, and he's going to be able to take down the Goblin Hut but not really head to the Princess. Good player. I'm excited to see which of these 2 players kind of work this out, because Uranium Potato this time has only made that slight switch, the Hog being the main card to be aggressive, but now Spark knows that, and he's always going to make sure that he has the diversion kept ready for the Hog. But as I speak of that now, Spark is just going to drop down that Miner, try a few chip damage shots on the Princess Tower, and now he's got to hold his defense strong. He does have the Rascals and the Dark Prince, but now the push is coming on both the sides. He's going to drop the Rascals for the left side tower where the Hog is standing, and he's going to drop the Dark Prince on the other side to just hold ground. Meanwhile, the Goblins is going to chip down on that Mega Minion and just keep things flowing for now for Spark. Miner getting chipped there, but the Tornado gonna wake up the king, and this is not something that Uranium really has to deal with, because Spark has to really worry now on how he plans to really play this correctly. There's going to be a lot of aggression coming in from the side of Uranium Potato, and his defense just went tenfold stronger with that king alive. But for now, we see the Dark Prince getting dropped there. Spark making sure that he keeps that aggression going. He cannot really give the opening to Uranium to use his cards, and he's going to use the Miner, but the King Sword just making so much of havoc now for him. The Hog Rider gets dropped there, gonna again charge towards the Goblin Hut. We see the Ice Wizard doing a few shots here, but at the end of the day, they both stand strong. Both the towers seem to be doing fine. 8 seconds on the clock. We're gonna head into overtime soon, and now the push is strong from Spark's side. He is going to get shot on that secondary tower by the Prince. But look at Uranium go. He's going to just make sure that he gets these few shots more. The Hog Rider again getting distracted there. He is trying so hard to reach that tower, but the way Spark places that Goblin Heart at the right time is just not giving him the opening he needs. And as I speak of that, the Miner again chipping down on the tower, and this is going so head-to-head. Both the towers are on almost equal HP. Another Goblin Hut gets dropped there. The Hog is just not able to do what he's meant to do, and he's just going to take a fall here again. And now it's Spark's turn to make sure that he can get the damage off. He does have the Miner in the second roll of cards. So let's see how this is going to fare for him. I do see Uranium having the upper hand in this one. So I'm hoping that he's able to take this game here. But now his tower is chunking pretty low. 600 HP, 400 almost over there. But the Hog is again sent out with the Ice Golem. And I think he kind of lacks this just one extra card to kind of help the Hog to really reach the tower. But as I speak of that, the Zap gets used and the Poison gets dropped there, and almost 300 HP on the tower. This could go in anybody's favor actually. And now we see the Ice Villain getting dropped there just to make sure that the Dark Prince doesn't do that much. But again, the Miner getting moved to the King Tower and not being able to get those 2 extra hits that it needs to kind of take down the tower. But with that Poison and with that log getting thrown, I think Uranium Potato has got this one in the bag. And 26 HP, one more Zap spell, one more Poison to just do the trick. Now he's holding the defense. He's got to make sure the Miner doesn't reach that tower, and he's going to be able to do this, but the Poison going to secure that victory for him right before he could have taken a fall to the secondary tower. But well played over there by both the players. I mean, Uranium keeping calm over there in the most critical situations. May have to really understand that if there are going to be these towers involved, maybe other than the Hog, he would have to add another card to the whole mix. And if he does that, maybe he could have an easier game further. Moving into game number 5, I hope to see whether they stick to the similar decks. I've not really seen these two players use the P.E.K.K.A. or even the Golem card to be more keen. So I think they are more of the players who like to really play the small elixir game, which works in their favor. For now, I see Spark. He has added the Giant and the Elixir Collector to his deck, which means we could think that he's got 3 Musketeers too, and he does. Meanwhile, Uranium Potato gonna take one of those headlines from Spark's book and just gonna add that Goblin Hut to his deck too. And the Miner now going to the Elixir Collector. He doesn't really want that Collector to start already causing too much pain for himself on his side. And the Miner seems to be doing pretty fine over there. And now we see another big drop coming in there from Uranium. He's going to drop down that Dark Prince. The Zap going to make sure that the Dark Prince shield gets dropped there. Meanwhile, the Battle Ram just walking around the map and just taking the Dark Prince with him. But the Giant now being the main MVP in this, now if he reaches the tower, there could be a lot of trouble coming to Uranium's side. With that, the Goblin Gang to follow him through. The Rascals get dropped, but is it going to be enough to deal with that Giant? He's going to make his way through, and it is going to be enough at the end of the day. And now we do see Potato on the aggressive side. He is walking towards the tower. We see a few shots, but at the end of the day, we do see the Potato is a little bit of a lead here. We do see a 1,700 HP tower on Spark's side, which means that he's got to wait those other 30 seconds to really make his deck come to full swing potential. And as we speak of that, the Miner gets dropped down again, and he just does not want that Collector to be seen on the map. And the Battle Ram, of course, trying to do what he can, but the Bat's making sure that the space is created so that they don't really get to the tower. Taking that leaf of just putting that Goblin Hut seems to be very, very effective for Uranium over here. And another set of Bats and Goblins just fighting their way in the bridge. And now it's just going to come down to the double elixir count. The Giant gets dropped there again. The Rascal's taking a fall there also. And also the Bats getting added to the whole mix. The Battle Ram getting a fall. And the Goblin Gang going to make sure that the Miner doesn't really do a lot of damage here. But that Zap is going to make sure that Uranium's Bats just go down real quick. And this is the time I think that Spark really needs to make sure that his aggression is on point. The Dark Prince is in the midst of things. But now is where he's just going to drop down that Giant again. He's also dropped down the minion horde, but the Poison doing so much damage over here and going to just destroy that beautiful push created by Spark. Also, the Battle Raft is going in circles and circles, and now it's all up to Spark to hold his defense. The Dark Prince coming into the fight again. There is a double Dark Prince on this map, and I'm just hoping to see whether Uranium is able to just take down this whole thing. But again, the minion horde doing so much damage, but it's going to take a fall finally, and it's going to be Uranium coming on top at the end of the day of this beautiful best of 5 matchup. Beautiful gameplay coming in there by him. Spark, of course, to a very certain extent, very confident in all those battles, but I wouldn't even say misplays. It was just maybe the cycling of cards for him were just not right. But Uranium making the most of this opportunity, learning from his opponent and converting that into his own push, which kind of leads me to think that the fall season Master League this year is going to have a very interesting player entering it. So congratulations to you, Uranium, and let's send it back to the studio.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL India Premiership Summer Season Challenger Series Studio segment. And what a good game that was, Vagish.
GGWP.
Yeah, well, Uranium Potato, ladies and gentlemen, is a clear winner. A good game, 3-2. And what can I say about Uranium? The guy actually tried to climb through in 2017. And he did, what can I say? His mission.
I see you're having the same issue which I have when I sit on that seat. Forget the keywords. Very interesting, very interesting. No, he did try to go into the Masters League in 2017, couldn't back then. Now, he's in the fall season. He's in the Masters League, as we have stated before. So, looking forward to have this guy, man.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this guy has done a great job, succeeded well. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the teams that have qualified for the next series. Well, for the next challengers, we have Mrin, Jimit, Tahir, and Deepak Mehudi Mehta. What do you have to say about that?
Not expected at all. Not expected at all. Like I said, Mrin did not expect. I did not expect Jimit Bhatt to go down. I did not expect Mehudi, Tahir. All these 4 names are associated with the Premiership for a long time, and we've seen them in the Masters for a long time. Not that we haven't gotten bored of seeing them, it's just that we expect them to be in the Masters because they're they're few of the most experienced players there, right? But sadly, what to do? Such is life.
Well, moving on for the next Masters, the Masters of the fall season, we have Matt King, Dap Cats, Uranium Potato, and Roman Reigns. Very fancy names.
Yes, I was just doing the dab. Yeah, but it's pretty rad that we'll have some new faces. In fact, what's on a side note, what's really comical is that each time you look into your list of people coming into the Masters League for the fall season, can we have the center cam? So if you look at our feed, which you guys can't see, it looks like you're looking at a table. I'm not kidding. Look. It looks like you're looking at a table. There's nothing there. It's magic. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this. We've hidden this fact from you guys for quite some time. This is not a table. This is a one-way LED sheet. So we get our information here. You will not see it. Only we will see it. And
true that.
Yeah. And move. Thank you, production, for making me look like an nincompoop. But yes, I think it's time for us to go to a break while I crack a few knuckles, which will also include some bones which are not mine.
But before, guys, we go to the break, let's also mention about the upcoming LAN finale.
What about it?
Well, LAN finale, ladies and gentlemen, 23rd and 24th of June is going to happen at Phoenix Market City, Kurla. It's going to be a 2-day event where there'll be a lot of exciting activities such as esports, cosplay, experience zones, giveaways, and stand-up acts and much more. This event, ladies and gentlemen, is going to take place in Mumbai.
Are you going to clarify to them that the stand-up act is me?
Oh. Stand-up act, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be none other than our very own Abhish Matthew and Gaurav Kapoor. And also Godslayer, if he wants to come on that stage.
Let's just go to break. I have 2 different bone sets to break now.
Well, let's get set, ladies and gentlemen, because we have our next game, CSGO, next in line.